series of congresses over the last several weeks that was to culminate in the election of state officers to man the affairs of the party in this state going forth for the next 4 years or so. We had a stakeholders meeting at the State Secretariat 2 days ago. And one of the fundamental issues raised was the question of how do we go forth. Learning from what our experience have been in the past, we resolved that a consensus approach to party planning and leadership emplacement will be the proper way to go for your state. In the past, you recall that the party had a very serious break during the 2018 State Congress process. And as a result of that, disagreement caused our party to split into two. It was largely because of that APC lost Oyo State with that election. In the subsequent election in 2019. Now, we learned lessons from that and resolved to close ranks and do the best we can to ensure that everybody who had anything to do with the party was carried along in the process of building a new, stronger, more virile party. And that was why we adopted the consensus arrangement for our elections, for our congresses. Even the national directed that the preferred way to organize our congresses was the consensual approach. So the party adopted a zoning program statewide that broke the expos in the party, the exco membership in the party to the 7 zones in Oyo State. These apportionments were to be taken back to the local government. One of the beauties of it was also that we said every local government must have a representative on the state exco. And we succeeded largely in putting this together. Zones were given slots to go and fill and supply our nominees for each of positions sent to them. But consensus does not always mean unanimity. In a situation where you have an individual or several individuals who are vying for a particular position and who refuse to allow a common position, you go to the polls, and then members of the party can have a right to help decide who the ultimate winner would be. But to go to the polls in any Congress, you must have a good, verified delegate list. We are getting delegate elections or congresses to cover the wards, delegate congresses to cover the local government, and then ultimately the state congress, which was to be today initially. However, we discovered that one, results of the ward congresses were not released from the national headquarters for reasons that were unknown to us. Two, the subsequent outcome of the local government congress was also not released for the use of the membership and for verification of the members. So we were a little bit taken aback that how do we now go to a state congress without these fundamental building blocks in place? Then the solution to that would be to have another consensus arrangement, which would only require affirmation, not specific voting on item by item. But we have to be prepared in the event that we have some positions that cannot be taken on consensual basis. There has to be the ability to contest those positions. You cannot contest positions unless you have a good, credible membership delegates list. The panel from Obuda came in yesterday. We had a meeting with them. They brought a list that was supposed to cover both the ward and the local government congresses. Unfortunately, when we opened the document, the state chairman discovered, to his chagrin, to his dismay, that the content of that package were at complete variance. With what was sent to Abuja for the World Congress and for the Local Government Congress. The list had been bastardized. It wasn't just a question of some errors here and there. Complete dictionary of what occurred in the field and substitution of fake delegate list was what was brought to us yesterday. Let me give you an instance. I come from Surulere local government, and I happen to be the leader of the party in that local government. Without question, when we saw the list yesterday, all my words had been cleared out, given to others. The local government, I was given one slot of local government youth leader out of 27 slots for the local government executive. And I said, and we actually had congresses, we had actually brought out our membership for the congresses. So if that goes to our base, to Surulere, and people read that all the delegates they elected in an open contest, their names were jettisoned for some no-name characters, inserted. They do office, but it's just that those who lost woefully supplanted those who won the congresses. Contests, it's about winning and sometimes losing. If you lose, wait for another 4 years and the contest. But for somebody to go to Abuja and connive with some people in Abuja to substitute names of legitimate delegates with fake delegates and then expect us to go to Congress with such is asking for trouble. Let me give examples of some of my colleagues on this table too. Okay, maybe one or two. My brother to the left, our gubernatorial candidate, APC gubernatorial candidate in 2019, was not given a single word in this local government. Not a single one. Similarly, Magajitegbe, Honorable, the amazing that somebody just mentioned now a few minutes ago, in Oluyole local government, who has done so much in the last 3 years or so, did not get a single word allotted to her. Contrary to what occurred when we had the Congress, when people actually went to the field and voted. My minister here was given the slot of a youth leader only in the portion of local government. Out of 27 slots, he got one. Serving Federal Minister of Youth and Sports. Of course, Adeluwa Kande is here. Let me not talk about it. Let me talk to the international surgeon, the cardiovascular specialist. In the Southwest, where he comes from, he did not get a single individual, not a single delegate, was allotted to him. In what we said was a consensual arrangement. When you have consensus, you have 2-3 different factions coming together and agreeing and packaging. And then you go to the polls to affirm. We did all those things, but somebody went behind the scenes, and specifically 2 individuals are responsible largely for this nonsense. A serving senator and one former governor of the state are the culprits behind all this nonsense. What they are doing is to corner the party, pocket the party, and hope to use that as a platform for them to go to the polls. If you go to the polls with that kind of a package, what on earth do you expect would happen? If members of the party who strived who work very hard, believing in the system. If they discover that somebody had done some abracadabra, then how do you get them to commit themselves to the cause of the party, to work hard for the success of the party? That simply would not happen. If you look at this table here, we are not that. The leaders are not all here. There are a whole bunch of us out there that are still not here today. If you exclude all of these leaders from a party, how on earth can that kind of a party hope to succeed at the polls? We are hereby pleading. Oh, before I do that, I also want to say that the state chairman opened the package. He was dumbfounded, because the state also has a copy of what was sent to Abuja for each of the congresses. The state kept a copy of the results of the World Congress. The state kept a copy of the local government congress. What was brought back was absolute variance with the document in the hand of state chairman. The state chairman had to go on air and yesterday and said to say that he's miffed. He cannot understand what happened. But he's appealing to the membership of the party to please be calm and hold our peace, and we agree. We will be calm. We will hold our peace. We stand with the chairman, state chairman, absolutely. However, there's a limit to what people can take. And that's why we are calling this press conference. The so-called state congress that was supposed to be today has been cancelled. There's no way anybody can go to the state congress with the kind of jaundice list that they presented to us. The question is, why were those results not released in the first instance? After a congress, you set up appeals panels, you go through and then you come with the result. Go to the next congress, you set up appeal panels on it. After that, you release the result. Nothing was released to us. We saw all of it yesterday only. That is not going to work. It's not going to help our party. And we are too much committed to this party to allow some no good people to just destroy it for us. We appeal to our national leadership to take this matter very, very serious. We have complained bitterly. We have made trips to Abuja because we got wind of this ahead of time. And we laid all these things bare. We also went to meet with the State Congress Committee last night. And we laid out all these facts. If some people choose to ignore all of that, it means they don't mean well for APC in Oyo State. And we are saying, people of Oyo State are tired of this Makinde shenanigan. Our people do not want PDP to continue to rule this state. They are yearning for the return of APC to the government house. But the only way we can do that is if we don't allow people who are not well-meaning to corner the process, to think they can outsmart everybody else, to jabber. We won't allow it. It cannot happen. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. If anybody has any concerns, questions, or whatever, please, I'll listen to them and we'll deal with them. We are now saying the National should please delay the Congress. National is the quagmire because they are working towards the National Convention. And they have to conclude the state congresses before they can go to National Convention. However, because of the peculiarity of Oyo State, and Oyo State is a sensitive state,